I'm a pediatric cancer doctor. I spend part of my time taking care of patients. I love taking care of patients. And another piece of my career is trying to come up with better ways to treat kids with cancer. Treating cancer is one of the very few fields where we use medications to the limit of what a patient can tolerate. You know, if you're taking a blood pressure medicine or a lipid-lowering agent, you're using those medications to actually control symptoms, but not to make that illness go away. And in cancer, because we're trying to kill all the bad cells, we push the dose as high as patients can tolerate. Wes Corbin is an amazing kid. He is 16, a really neat, soft-spoken kid from a really supportive family.
It all started about 2 years ago this month when he really started feeling crummy.
They told us that there was a couple options. I had mono, and so they said it could be some sort of mono cousin.
They sent us to Riley, and we got there at 8 o'clock, and by 12:40 he was diagnosed leukemia. It was chemo after chemo after chemo for several months.
That has been amazingly effective in curing about 70% of children with cancer. The flip side of that is we have children who experience significant, life-threatening, irreversible side effects.
It took a few months before we started noticing that he was starting to walk different.
And the neuropathy makes my toes tingle and makes it feel numb sometimes. You have to really trust where you're walking because sometimes you really can't feel where you're walking. And then foot drop. Instead of walking heel to toe, I walk toe to heel. It's hard to bring my heel down to the ground. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to live with.
I've worked over the last number of years to understand variability in drug toxicity and efficacy in children with cancer. So why is it that you can give a particular medication to two different children who seem very similar, and the medication can work really well, and at the other ends of the spectrum either not work at all or have severe life-threatening toxicities.
Side effects are hard, and that you hate that he has to get this cancer. But you have to remember it's the chemo that's saving his life, even though right now it feels like chemo's the enemy, because chemo's hard. Chemo's hard. He was able to get back to school the 1st of November and really had a great year.
Started school back up for a second 9 weeks. And then I've started to do track again.
And track practice we thought was wearing him out. And so Dr. Skiles ran blood work and it all looked fine, but for my own peace of mind, I need a bone marrow biopsy. And I could just tell by looking in her eyes, she was more worried than what she was saying. And at 6 o'clock on April 30th, she called. And that was the hardest thing I ever did, was to walk out of my bedroom and walk into this room and tell Wesley, I'm sorry, buddy, it's back.
I did not expect it to happen. I set really high hopes up and it just got demolished.
With Wes, he's one of the patients we're learning from and is super important, critical really, to making things better for kids in the future.
It does make me feel like I'm doing something important at the same time that I feel honored to do. If there was a cure for cancer that actually was found, wouldn't it be awesome if Riley was the one that found it?
For Wesley to be used in a way that could bring good to other people, it just brings joy, because this is too hard for it not to do good. You can only hope.